If you're truly a kind individual, you're going to understand that kindness is founded within truth. And ask yourself that question: is it really kindness or is it cowardice? What's good, everyone? Just out here getting after it once again. You know what it is, just come back inside after getting done with a good morning workout, starting that day right. And I hope all you individuals out there are doing just the same, continuing on this journey to be able to create better individuals to give back to your dogs and your family units. Now, I wanted to ask you a thought-provoking question, and that is it really kindness or is it cowardice? And what should real kindness be set within? What should kindness be founded upon? What should the foundation of true kindness be found within? The answer to that would be within truth. So ask yourself, are you really a kind individual, a good individual, if you're the nice guy and you're too scared to speak up? Really ask yourself that question. If you're always too worried about the way people feel because you don't want to upset them, because you're worried that they're going to have type of reaction to it, do you really care for that individual if that's what your main concern is? Really, ask yourself. Because I'll be the first one to tell you, if you haven't heard it already, that you're a fucking coward. It is what it is. I ain't here to spare your feelings. You know what this mission is? It's about creating better individuals. It's about changing people's personal conduct for the better. To be able to create self-awareness, to be able to create individuals that understand the importance of getting after it within their own sense of self-development. Like I said, creating better individuals to be able to give back to our dogs and our family units. And that is not going to come from always worrying about the way people feel. Because you know what? We need to understand the importance of operating in what's real, not within what you feel. Because the truth is objective. It is not subjective. You do not get to change the truth due to the way you fucking feel. So really ask yourself, are you really a good person? Are you really kind? And if so, if you're one of these kind individuals, what should real kindness be built upon? What should the foundation of kindness be built upon? It should be built upon truth. Like I said, it should be built upon what is real, not within how you feel. Because that's a huge issue within the world. Here, let me give you an example. We're coming up to Christmas. Everyone's going to be getting together for their family gatherings, family lunches, dinners, whatever it may be. But the people that you proclaim to love and care for are all going to be gathering at this time of year, within about a week or so. So, ask yourself, if you see one of your family members, one of your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your cousins, whoever it may be, someone close to you that you haven't seen in a bit, and you can tell that they've picked up a few vices from around the way, maybe it's drugs, alcohol, whatever it may be. Maybe you can see that they've dropped or gained an unhealthy amount of weight, that their personal conduct has shifted to some sort of bullshit. What is it that you're going to do? Are you going to be one of those shit cunts, one of those fake motherfuckers that sit there behind your feels that waits for them to leave so that you can fucking talk shit about your people that you claim to love and care for? Because you're too scared about having that conversation with them and the way it may upset them? Or are you going to be a real one and say, oi, come here. You don't have to put them on show in front of everyone, but be prepared to have that uncomfortable conversation with them, because you can see that they're leading their lives down a downhill trajectory. You can see that their personal conduct has shifted behind some type of bullshit. Maybe they're not the same individual. Maybe the standards of who they are as an individual has dropped. Maybe you may hear a few stories running around on their wives, their girlfriends, whatever it may be, and vice versa. Are you going to be the individual to say, oi, fuck you doing? You ain't about that. You're better than that. Oi, what is it that's making you gain this unhealthy amount of weight? Oi, what is it about you that's made you drop this unhealthy amount of weight? You look malnourished. You've turned into a fucking string bean. What's going on? Are you sick? How can I help? Because you know what? I'm going to say this for what it is. This is going to upset some people. If you're too scared to have that conversation, if you're too scared to hold that level of accountability to your people because you're too worried about the way they feel, you're a fucking enabler. You're just as guilty as the fucking perpetrators. So here's another brain twister for you. We're all happy to hold that standard to the rest of society, to people that we don't know. But the second it comes to us, to ourselves, the second it comes to the people that we're supposedly closest to, we all want to validate each other's excuses. How familiar does this sound? Oh, but you don't know, but you don't understand. Oh, don't say this, don't say that. Oh, but this, but that. We've all fucking heard it before, but you know what? That's some fucking bullshit. That's that bitch shit coming out. And if you're too scared to speak up, if you're too scared to hold that better standard to the people that you claim to love and care for, you know what? You're fucking guilty. You're just as guilty as the perpetrators. You're just as guilty as the people feeding these issues. For example, if old mate's fucking touching up his wife, it's common sense to fucking say and do something, isn't it? But you know what? Even within those sets of circumstances, there's some of you cowardly motherfuckers out there that are too scared to upset them by holding them accountable to what it is. Oh, but maybe it's this, but maybe it's that. You know what? Fuck you, fuck them. What's wrong is wrong. End of story. It is what it is. There is no excuse. And it's the same principle that applies to everything else. So do not be an enabler. Be that real individual. Be that real, kind individual that has substance to who they are and what they're about. That has conviction within who they are and what they're about, for what they stand for, and be prepared to put yourself in that uncomfortable set of circumstances, to hold that greater sense of accountability to the people that you claim to love and care for, to be able to hold that greater sense of accountability to yourself so that you can gift back a better version of you to your family, to your friends, to your dogs, and so forth. Understand it, that this is a set of principles that we must live by. Don't worry about the way people feel about the truth, because truth is objective. The truth is the truth for what it is. The truth is not subjective due to the way you fucking feel about it. It's not hard to understand. It is what it is. And when we can understand this, we're going to help our people be better. We're going to help our people do better. Therefore, we clean up our own backyard. Therefore, we have better people around us. Therefore, we hold ourselves to a better set of standards to hold our personal conduct to. Because without it, what is it that we're really doing? You're just allowing your people to drop the ball. You're just allowing your people to live their lives and their existence behind bullshit. So if you really care for the other side of the individual, if you're truly a kind individual, you're going to understand that kindness is founded within truth. And ask yourself that question: is it really kindness or is it cowardice? Not hard to understand, but have a ponder about it. I hope that can incite some deep thought for you to be able to help this mission, to be able to create better individuals for our dogs and our family units. Peace.